Welcome to 1407 Great Malkin Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Today we're going to do a classic X-book review. Generation X 41. This came out in June of 1998. It was one of those transitional years, the ones that a lot of people tend to forget about. But it's a fun episode. It's a fun issue. All right. First, for those of you who don't know, Generation X are the junior X-Men team. They're mutants who are sent to a school to learn how to use their powers. But the thing with them was they weren't all sure that they were going to be X-Men. Like, some of them just wanted to get their powers under control, just so they can have a regular life. People tend to forget about that with Generation X. And also their power sets were not what you would call powerful. There were a couple of powerful ones, but all in all, it was just a really just ragtag team. Okay. Also, they had this, the Marvel Guide. For those of you who don't remember this, it was basically a rundown of everybody who's going to be in this issue. Who they are, background, powers, the general. Now, going into this, we see Skin coming in with a bunch of VHH videotapes. Can't say that word. For those of you who don't know you know what a videotape is. Google it. He goes in with a bunch of videotapes while the girls, Husk, Paige Guthrie, Monet St. Croix, Jubilation Lee, and Penance are all getting their nails, all doing their nails because they're doing a late night hangout thing, like a sleepover. This basically is the issue, and isn't what they're talking about. It's all chaos. So they cut. So also, really, get a look at some of these fill-ins for classic horror movies. You got All Hallows Eve. You got The Coffin Cure, Sicko, Friday the 14th, Yell, The Chainsaw Massacre. The Massachusetts Chainsaw Massacre. There's one that got cut off in the middle, but it's nice. Larry Hama knew what he was doing when he was writing this book. He wanted to have fun. He wanted to incorporate, just throw in all the things like, it's a late night, you're hanging out with your friends, there are no parents around, let's get crazy. So, Angelo explains that the movies that he got, and Monet, they pick up with her, and we see her go into the kitchen, where Sink, that's my man, and Chamber are making snacks for everybody for the movie marathon. All right, for those of you who don't know what a sleepover is, because we've been in a pandemic for the past year. It's when a bunch of people would come together to watch TV and generally just enjoy each other's company. Weird, right? It's from the long ago. Really funny hijinks ensue. Chambers having issues getting the popcorn, making popcorn, while Sink is making their equivalent of Rice Krispie treats. So Chamber, he's like, you know what? I can't do this. I'm going to use my own personal nuclear furnace on his face to pop everything. It goes way overboard, explodes everything, lands on Monet's fingernails, and she's a little pissed off. Shortly later, we see the team. I am a fan of these domestics when the characters are just hanging out, having a good time. They don't need to be fighting all the time. They can just enjoy each other's company. They're having a horror movie marathon, which I find really funny considering they all have superpowers. And Skin, he puts it. All right, Skin's powers are pretty self-explanatory, but he has the ability to stretch his real skin 6 feet. So it's gross, but it's kind of like a low rent Mr. Fantastic. You gotta remember, a lot of these kids are in they are various ages. They're not all the same age. You got Monet, Sink, and Husk. They're all the same age. They're all 16. Skin is 15. Jubilee's 13. Chamber's supposed to be 18. And Penance at this point is 2 8-year-old girls merged into one. That's a whole nother thing. So they get into the whole discussion saying like, hey, maybe we shouldn't watch this with Jubilee here because she's 13, and like they're trying to look out for her, but you can see how dated it was. They talk about like, you see this, you see these things, and these can trigger things called the terminal dream syndrome, where if you die in a dream, you die in real life. Jubilee doesn't believe this because she's like, what are you talking about? I've seen way worse things in real life. Like, you guys are tripping. And she basically has to double down on the fact that it's like, I'm not a baby. So later on, she wakes up and she runs into Skin. They see somebody going up the stairs in disguise. It looks like an old woman. It goes into the bathroom where Paige Husk is singing the Spice Girls in the shower as this person in disguise is about to do a whole psycho situation, and we get it in spades. Granted, Husk has the ability to rip her skin apart, revealing either various metals, stones, whatever, what have you. You actually find out it's one of their old enemies doing an Anthony Perkins impersonation. So he suicide bombs himself, killed, and they do a real homage to Psycho. Like, Paige is dead. Skin and Jubilee are like, okay, this is weird. And Jubilee's like, oh no, we're in a dream. We're in my dream. Like, we just need to wake up. She splashes water on her face, and then all of a sudden, Victor Creed as Freddy Krueger pops up. He's like, I'm ready to kill everybody. So they essentially go through a whole rogues gallery of slasher films. You get, oh man, you get Bastion as Norman Bates. You get Sabretooth as Freddy Krueger. You get Omega Red as Michael Myers. You get, I don't know if you guys know, Implate as the Texas Chainsaw Man, as a Leatherface. It's a fun issue, and then and everybody dies. Like you already said, Husk dies. Skin's killed by Sabretooth. So is M, and then Penance kills Sabretooth, and then she gets killed by Omega Red, Michael Myers, who then also kills Chamber, and then who then later on kills Sync. And they find Jubilee has a bad dream, and everybody is like looking at her like, "Are you okay?" Jubilee's like, "Oh my god," she's just kind of has a Wizard of Oz ending moment. It's like, "Oh my god, I saw this and this and this," and then she knows that they all look guilty. They were all playing to scare her, so like they feel really bad. Like, there's nothing we could have done that you didn't do to yourself. All in all, this is a really fun issue. It's a nice, quiet issue, considering. This was in the middle of Generation X ending one storyline they had, and they were about to go into like a little limbo. All in all, I give it a 3.75 out of 5. I like it. It brings back a lot of memories, but I wish we could have more. So that's my review for Generation X number 41.